Hi guys, it's Seth and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, what we're going to be doing is a chit chat kind of video, and I love doing these. They sit down, very chilled out, and I just get to talk. In this video, what we're going to be doing is advice. I don't know how to phrase this because I feel like it's a bunch of things, but basically anything advice related, you guys telling me your dilemmas and me trying to like solve them. They are unsolicited advice. I am no professional or anything. Whatever I say, take it with a pinch of salt and make sure you talk to like your friends and family about it as well. And if you guys want to be involved in this, then please follow me on Instagram. I'll pop up like my feed here. I'm kind of consistent with it. I haven't been lately, but I'm trying to get better with it. And when I do these videos, then you guys can actually join and tell me your dilemmas and like stories and things like that, which I love. Literally my goal on YouTube was to have a little community and for us to like grow and thrive and like have a big community in the future. And I feel like I'm having that. I feel like I do have a small community. I like see everyone that comments and there's like a few names that pop up consistently and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. Okay, so obviously this is a bit different. I can't do it on my phone, so I'm doing it on my iPad because I'm filming with my phone right now. My camera comes in soon, guys, though, so I'll be fine. Okay, anyways, let's get into this. I'll keep everyone anonymous. So yeah, someone said advice on toxic friends. Advice on toxic friends. I think this is a hard one because it can be quite broad. If you guys have any specifics, by the way, that you want to add, then definitely add. You can like even DM me and tell me like the story or whatever, so I have a bit more context. I think it just depends because you can have a toxic friend that consistently hurts you and you've tried speaking to them and they continuously hurt you or have little digs or like whatever. And I think something like that, it's not healthy for you and you're feeling really sad and down about it, I say cut them off. Because if you're consistently feeling sad and down about how a friend is treating you and you've spoken to them about it and they're just not getting it or they just don't care, then for me personally, I think you should just 100% cut that kind of person out because that's just not nice for you. Yeah, you can definitely find people that are nicer and kinder to you and you guys are like an equal kind of friendship. But if it's the other end where there could be just miscommunication in your friendship, maybe they don't realise that what they're doing is hurting you and maybe you haven't said anything, because I get it, like sometimes it can be awkward to speak up over certain things, and especially if you're in your head about it or whatever. And I think in those situations, depending on how close you are with the friend, so if you're very close friends with someone and they're doing stuff that hurts you, I really think that you should speak out to them because they might not realize that what they're doing is actually hurting you. And if they're like, no, still not going to change, then sometimes I think you do just have to cut people off. But if they are willing to change and try and like, you know, better your friendship and stuff, then that's sick, and then you can do that. I think there's some friendships, if say the person's just kind of like that and say they've changed and their personality's changed and you guys just aren't, you know, on the same wavelength anymore and it's just not nice hanging out with them, then I think that's okay to distance yourself too. I think for me it's just about, as long as you try and you're open, you try and communicate with people, then you can kind of make your decision from that. And obviously depending on the level of your friendship, like if you're very close friends or you're like kind of acquaintances more, it kind of depends how badly you want to keep them. Sorry it was such a broad answer. It's really hard to condense this because it's quite a broad subject of toxic friends, but definitely talk to them. I think that's my main advice. Talk to them, see where their head's at, and if they're like the same, then cut them out, you know, unless they're very, very precious to you, then keep on trying, I think. But apart from that, yeah. Okay, so the next one is, how does a boy act when he actually wants you? I am so done. Hey, with like the laughing emoji in that. So yeah. How does a boy act when he actually wants you? That's a really hard one. I feel like for me to tell a guy, I guess it's like likes you / wants you, there's just, I think there could be a bit of a vibe that you feel. And it depends, because if you guys are like friends before and then now he's like liking you and you're liking him, and if it's that kind of situation, I think it's easier to tell because they'll like, the vibe will be a bit different and they'll be a bit more like, I guess a bit more flirtatious and less like, oh, this is platonic friends, and it's more like seep into the line of like, oh, I really like you and I want you kind of thing. I think if it's like you're trying to just get to know a guy and you don't know him that well, then that's hard because you don't really know his vibe from before this, if this guy's like a kind of acquaintance or whatever. But yeah, I think definitely vibe is one. If they're having that kind of vibe, I don't know how to explain it, it's so hard, but it's like that kind of feeling. It's just this vibe that you kind of feel, like, I don't know how else to describe it. I think if you see him in person, if it's things like he's quite like playful with you, maybe like extra touchy-feely and things like that, or when you're talking to him, say online, like if he's like constantly wanting to talk to you and like text you, call you, FaceTime, like anything like that, then I think then that's a sign. Especially if it's like before you were friends and he didn't really do that much, and then it's like it's more, then I think that's a sign that he could potentially like you. But I get it, it can be hard because it's like, oh, is it just like oh no, just in like a friendly way, or is it just like, oh no, like I like you. So I think that is a difficult thing, but I think it's just changing behavior like that. But then I don't know if that's just for girls, because I feel like that's what I do. If I like someone, I'd be like way more like obvious of like touchy-feely or like flirtatious kind of thing. And the fact that you said that you're done, I kind of feel like maybe he is not playing hard to get, but maybe he's like mixed signals or something. I think that's really difficult. Sometimes like, you can just be black and white and just be like, you know, right, cards on the table, wear my heart on my sleeve or my arm, and then just say I like you, and then see their response. Because if they're like, oh thanks, then it's like, then you know. But if they're like, oh, like I like you too, whatever, then maybe you can blossom something. But yeah, I feel like back in the day I was quite forward. I'd just be like, yeah, I like you, or I'm just doing very obvious stuff, so then if I don't get the return, I'm like, you know, then I just take the hint kind of thing. So you could do that, be just blunt and be like, I like you. Or you just kind of show it very obviously of like touchy and being like that, and see how he is. If he's kind of like, oh, like what are you doing? Then obviously you kind of know. But then if he's like liking it and carrying on, then maybe, you know, then maybe he does kind of thing. So yeah, that's a hard one though. I feel you. Hopefully it works out though. The next one's pretty intense. This one says, what should you do if you don't agree on baby names? My girlfriend and I completely disagree on baby names. I think her ideas are terrible. She hates all my name ideas, which are names of my grandparents. It's almost a deal breaker. I'm thinking of dumping her over it. Okay, that's pretty intense. I mean, 100% don't think you should break up with her since she's pregnant. Oh, okay, in my head she was pregnant. Okay, maybe she's not pregnant. If this is like what you guys are just talking about before the actual baby is growing, but if she's not pregnant, you guys are just talking about baby names. Okay, so, I mean, I just don't think you should break up over a baby name, honestly. I think if you're thinking of dumping her, it's probably not to do with the name and maybe to do with other stuff, because it's okay to disagree on baby names. You guys will get there in the end. You just have to keep on talking about it and seeing what name is good for both of you. I know it's a bit deep because it's like your grandparents' name and stuff, but like, you know, maybe she doesn't like it and that's okay. Like, I think you guys just need to talk about it more and like try and communicate and like not be mean to each other about each other's baby names. But yeah, I think definitely just communication and not being so harsh on the baby names, because I get it if she's like, oh, that's a disgusting name, and it's like, that's my grandpa, like that is a bit awkward. So I think if you guys just try and be a bit nicer about it and try and talk, you guys will be fine. I'm gonna read off one from Reddit because I feel like this video is really quite long. My sister's relationship with my boyfriend is making me uncomfortable. Now, the sister's 21 and the boyfriend and her are 24. That's a bit awkward. Now, I'm gonna like paraphrase and summarize, but it says, my boyfriend and I have been together for a year and it's going pretty well, except for the fact that he and my sister have no boundaries. My sister and boyfriend have been friends for a while, about 6 years. They had went to college together and they've been pretty close long before he met me. They talk on the phone for hours, they have lunch together multiple times a week, they play video games for hours, and he brings her food over sometimes. He basically treats her better than me. Wow. And she says that she's not really a jealous type and that her friends agree that this is just weird, which obviously it is. When I bring it up with him, he's all like, these are our traditions, we've been doing this stuff for years. And I even tried to bring up with my sister and she said that we've been friends forever and it's not your place to say what we do. I have no idea what to do about them now and it's hurting me to watch this stuff, but I don't want to ruin my relationship with either of them. Wow. Fucking hell, I'd be fuming. I mean, I don't really have any siblings to compare this to, but just thinking of saying like my best friend and that was the situation. What? That's so weird. I'm sorry, but that is so weird. I'd break up. Not gonna lie, I think I would break up with him. Because the fact that you think he's treating your sister better than you, that's a bit much now. Like, how is that a thing? Yeah, not gonna lie, I'd break up. Especially since you've spoken about it and said, like, you know, you're upset. And he's just like, it's traditions. Hell no. I'm sorry, I would not have that. That's a bit too much. Like, no. I think that's a pretty easy one though, break up. Like, I know they've been together for a year and she says it's gone well except for this, but I'm like, is it really going well if you have that? Because that's like a big situation. That's not just a small situation. You're thinking that your boyfriend is treating your sister better than you. That is an issue. And the fact that neither of them want to stop and are gonna stop, I think you just break up with them. I think you just break up with him, so then you can like kind of save your relationship with your sister, and like, you know, you're gonna find another boyfriend at the end of the day. There's no point of where she said this is the love of her life or anything, and you're 24, like you're gonna find someone else. But I think this isn't it, like really this isn't it. But yeah, I really liked filming this. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I love doing these little chatty videos and trying to help you with your dilemmas and give you advice and stuff like that. I hope it was helpful. Remember, if you have any more dilemmas and things like that, then just make sure you give me a bit more context as well, so I can really like dive into it, because I love doing these kind of videos. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram if you want to be part of these videos, and you can give me your dilemmas, advice, and we do Q&As, all that kind of thing. I'm really excited to do more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then please give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.